the numbers that have come back are astounding. I'm really happy to tell you that down in Fort Benning, down in Georgia, last May was the Rangers, the best Rangers contest, I guess it is, where they bring in all these unbelievable athletes from all different factions of the military, and the Rangers spar it out on contests. And my understanding is that in special forces, they don't have to wait until something is actually handed to them by the military. They get a packet of money. They get to go use it any way they want. If they want to buy a different gun or a different knife or a different pad or what, well, they all started buying cue collars.
Really?
Years ago, right? And several of them at a time where they were being studied, not actually being FDA authorized. Yep. And then one turned to another. And again, don't hold me to these numbers. I was told by the company that out of 140 Rangers that were in that big contest, there were 120 of them had cue collars on.
Really? So this thing is not even just being used. Obviously, we talk about professional athletes or just athletes in general, whether at the high school or the collegiate level. But this is being used by the elite military personnel here in the United States as well.
So I took an investigational research board proposal. So that's how we get studies, and we're allowed to actually study humans, right? And we took it to them and we said, well, we're going to study IED levels of C4 explosions on human brains. And they looked at me like I was smoking something. Said, you can't be serious. I go, wait a minute, you don't understand. We're going to do it with the SWAT officers that breach buildings every year for practice. They don't want to go through the front door because it could be booby traps. They blow a hole right next to that. And they're within 9 feet of that explosion to make that hole. And it turns out these guys don't have any protection at all. So we were able to convince them by buying their C4 explosion for them. These guys are nuts. I mean, but we could bring them our way because, well, you want some more C4? We'll buy more C4 for you. They wouldn't be paid. They wouldn't allow it, but they would do this. And we did a tensor MRI, the most sophisticated exam of the brain before that day, and then a tensor MRI after that day. And then by digital subtraction angiography, we were able to superimpose them and determine if there's any difference from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. You would not believe what happens in just one day. Now, our studies for the FDA were 1 season of high school play. So we did that on all these kids, 800 tensor MRIs, $2,000 a scan. That's $3 million radiology bill. Okay, I don't have that kind of money stuck to the bottom of my shoe. But these independent investors decided that this was right because we walked them through why we had to do it this way. But to make a long story short, we blocked IED levels of forces entering through these SWAT officers in Cincinnati, Ohio, called Hamilton County SWAT Team. And we were off to the races. We were able to convince the military that we're onto something. We blocked the damage to your ears. These at Fort Liberty, they're firing these Carl Gustavs. I don't know if you can see me doing this, but there we go. Carl Gustav missiles on their shoulders, and their ears just right next to this. And so you get 1 or 2 of these firings and you're done for the day. You've got ringing in your ears, you're exhausted, maybe headaches, can't sleep. That's for days after just prep. Now I'm told, please don't hold me to this, but I'm told they can fire as many times as they want.